No idea when it kicks in. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
How does the day greet you?
Oh, I have a goblet of sin. It's a goblet of trouble.
Well,
It's a Madonna Inn goblet.
I have one of those.
Oh yeah, man. I'm back in LA for this week, so I got into my goodies.
I recognize your sea girlfriend behind you.
Oh yeah, man. She's out there. She's always looking at something that way.
Women, am I right?
I'm like, God, what way you been? There's plenty of life over that way, but no, not now. There's a wall. If you put it next to a wall that way, it's no good. You gotta let her look out that way.
How was the drive back?
Oh man, just 15 hours getting weird, man. I don't know. You snore, right?
I do. Not so much regular, but if I'm like past like very drunk, which isn't like it used to be, that's very rare. That's when I
Do you know
all the time?
Yeah, it really ramped up in the last couple of years. But do you know when you're snoring? You know when I know when I'm snoring, even though I'm sleeping, and it's this weird kind of. It's like lucid dreaming, but I don't get all the benefits of waking life. Like I don't get any philosophical enlightenment. I'm just like, oh man, I'm pretty noisy right now. And
I don't know, but I feel like her hand like do this or poke, and it's almost it's Pavlovian, where it's almost like it's horrifying. Where I wake up because a hand touched me, and I'm like, I've awoken to the touch of a human, and then like I go back to sleep again, and then it's like I feel like my system locks in. It's just like you need to stop. You know?
Oh, okay.
Because I know you'll get the whip again.
I was at a rest stop. It's like a 15-hour drive, so I took a couple naps. But I was at a rest stop this morning, and I know I was sawing logs with a rusty blade. I know, and I was just laying in there with the hat over the head, like the security guard not doing his job, just busting them.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm sure people's got some good video of walking by the car, seeing me doing that one because I know it was loud.
How's your gal? Has she been okay?
She's good. She's up. She's left her in Oregon. Came down here on a supply run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the doghouse. The wife kicked me out because we found out I'm having an affair with our guest. So we'll get into that later. Jen and I have been having Jen Kirkman, who's coming on later. We've had an thing forever, and no, we're on vacation. We're on like a weekend, like a baby moon, basically, where Kara's at the pool now. Distanced. It's wild. It's like a resort, and we have like a little weird cabin far away. So I see the occasional golf cart go by, but that's it. And we're in a pool that was the pixie pool, where like the kids go with their parents. So everyone's super far away from us, but just still those kids screams, even with a cold frosty beer. I was like, I looked at Kara and went, "This is awful." And she's like, "Yeah, fuck this. Walk me to the adult pool. We're going to have this soon enough." She's like, get out of the pool.
Yeah, dog.
We got out of the pool, and I walked her to the adult pool, and I left her. And so she's in hog heaven now. But
that's the rest of your life.
Yeah, I know. I deserve it. The good and the bad.
Well, I deserve it like a punishment.
Look at like everyone should look at the screen right now. This looks like a show called Sad Dads Talk. You need to have a kid.
Fuck that, man.
I think it'd be the funniest kid ever.
I will punch my own dick into beef jerky before that becomes a possibility.
So it's a Wednesday. That just sounds like any day of the week for you.
Nope. No. Free time, disposable income. Want to get rid of both of those? Not a fucking chance.
Rachel's gonna do an Ali Wong on you. She's gonna be like, "Shit, fucking trap you."
Oh, what? Become a wildly successful comedian? Go for it. Please do.
No, You know that Ali Wong joke where she's like her husband wasn't going to marry her, and she's like, I trapped him, got pregnant, trapped him. She's going to do that to you.
I am making huge messes. It's easier
All it takes is one left inside.
Easier.
Hey, everybody.
Easier to change sheets than it is to change diapers. I'll tell you that, buddy.
Just made a jizz joke.
Why does I got ear pods? Who are you waving at?
Oh, is that your son? I didn't know that was a little boy. I thought it was okay.
Oh God, you doing scene work? All right.
You didn't like that?
Doing some scene work out there.
It was a real good time.
I don't know how to turn the Siri off on my ear pods. I just got ear pods, and now a bunch of shit's coming up.
Thank God I'm not hearing it. All right, so what's in your death cup?
Tequila and ruby red grapefruit juice. I don't know how to make drinks.
I mean, that's basically a Paloma. That's you just need to get you need grapefruit soda, like a squirt.
Come on down to basically a Paloma's, where Kyle's your bartender, and everything's got too much tequila and not enough of anything else to make it go down easy.
Did you ever go to that bar on the Oregon coast where they put emergency in every drink? Like a whole packet.
This sounds like a setup for a pun.
No, it's real. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's called something like that, like see you later or something, but it's not. It's just everyone in there, just rainbow teeth and like bearded lips. It's so fucking gross. Hoffman told me about it. I've never been. It just sounds like a place where they would fly you in and film you there. That's why I asked.
I'd never even heard of that. That sounds like they're just huffing paint.
It sounds like Kinane's pirate drinking travels.
Keeps away the scurvy.
just like Blackbeard did it. Oh no.
This keeps better than the real thing.
Yar.
No.
Oh no.
Jake, why is Jake coming in? Jake, what do you want?
What do you want, Jake? Everyone can see your name, I think. I don't even know what the screen is. Are we seeing the screen for what it is? Like
we've only been doing this for 3 months or 4 months.
That's all.
Why should we know what's happening?
So I think we're good. This is when the show gets exciting. Everyone loves that when it's like, are we down? What shit?
I mean, I'm on rest stop naps. I'm getting some tequila in me.
Yeah, you got to revitalize. I will share. Kara and I fell on each other, against each other, laughing by the pool, where 2 young boys walked past us about 10 feet away, but loud enough for us to hear. And they look at a hot tub. These kids are probably like 7, and it's like full of like toddlers. And this one kid goes, "Oh shit, it is a kiddie pool. Fuck!" And they walked away. And I was just like, "What?" Did we go to college together? Like they sounded like tiny men.
He was bummed out.
Yeah, like it was so funny. Like just so, like no real like anger, like bitterness, but that thing where you're just like, oh fuck, the restaurant's closed. Oh, it's Tuesday. They close on Tuesdays. Shit, I should have called them.
Is that like the was that what's the say anything where they're all like complaining about women at the gas station? There's a little kid with the beer like, bitches, man.
Yeah. And they all look at him like, get out of here. Where'd you come from?
10-year-old kid. Bitches, man.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I've been you know what? I'm gonna throw out a mini girl.
Great.
You got any I'm not a meditating man. I think I'm pretty pensive as it is. I got a lot of free time. So
yeah.
But was I saying before that house in Oregon's got a redwood tree?
No, I don't think
it's got a redwood in the yard.
Oh wow. Okay.
I guess it's a baby redwood. I don't know. It's still 100-something feet tall.
Holy
you ever
shit.
been through Sequoia or where they put the placards up and they tell you what was like being created by humankind at the same time those trees were alive?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like we're making pyramids in this living thing. Like,
yeah.
I'm doing pretty good with just sitting in a yard, drinking and looking at stuff. Like outside of the child part of being a dad, I got everything else down. There's a broken mower in the garage. I'll probably mess around with that. I'm mixing my alcohol incorrectly, but I like what I like. Right. Outside of the kid thing, I got it, man.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
See, that's why I feel like you drop a little Miller Time in the boss in there, and you're all set.
I am very happy for you guys. Also, tell me she's got at least something that looks like an alcoholic beverage by the pool.
No, she had a water, but I always make her some bananas ridiculous cocktail at home, like mocktail, where it's just like coming out of it.
For public perception, like a martini glass, just 8.5 months martini glass at the pool. Like, this thing's done. All right. Oh,
I almost want it because she's only 8, so she can still drink.
Yeah,
she's not drinking, but it is. I mean, it's like, and so like I did want to be like beer and a Long Island and just stare at her. And they'd both be for me, but just to see the person have that conflict of I really can't.
Dude, we went out for the first time, went to a restaurant that had like outdoor seating. It was the first time we went to a restaurant since all this. Sure. And I fully went full Spalding. I'm like, I want a burger and I want soup and I want tots and I want a cider and I want a shot of whiskey. I felt like such dog shit the rest of the night.
Did Rachel do Ted Knight? You'll get nothing and like it.
No, she was like, I used to go for it. Let's see how this goes. And just walking home like, none of these things are friends.
Why to do everything at once? Yeah.
So that was we had one of those, excited to go out.
Yeah, I had my first actually too for lunch. I just had like a beer and some fish tacos, like with this little table in the middle of nowhere. But it was like this, like I've missed this so fucking much, you know? Absolutely.
We're getting there. I don't know, man. What's going? Is it all? It's all going back. I don't know. We don't talk about that stuff. We're fun times. We're fun time buddy boys.
We're fun times. But I don't. When I see people packed into places, like I'm not having one of these indoors. No, I'm not. You know, it's all about distancing and being away. When I see fucking this place is blowing up, like Arizona, I'm just like, yeesh. Come on.
Arizona is like, I'm not going to say Arizona as a state, but Phoenix is like the worst, right? I know that's a good way to lose fans is by you usually want to be like, man, you want a Bon Jovi at like Dallas, New Orleans, Denver.
You want
I usually go the other way and I piss
rock
people
and
off.
roll everything. Expect that Roy Wood Jr. bit about how there's no black patriotic songs. It's like even Living in America by James Brown is just he's calling out cities black people won't get run out of. Atlanta. So good.
Phoenix still holds. I think Hard Rock Cafe is just as revered of fashion brand as like Louis Vuitton.
See, that's why we need Guy Fieri for our next president, because I feel like he just brings everyone together with his ridiculous Bay Area Phoenixness. I think
he really is Bay Area Phoenixness.
Absolutely.
Can we just chalk up another ill-fated Bill Hicks bit that didn't age well? Like, can't wait till California goes away because it'll just be Phoenix Bay. I'm like, that's bad.
That's bad.
That's a bad. Bill Hicks had a lot of bad jokes.
He didn't say that, did he? He didn't say that.
Bill Hicks did.
Well, Bill Hicks did. Yeah, no, he had an album called Arizona Bay.
That's what I mean. We're talking about I was talking about how a lot of Bill Hicks bits didn't age well.
Oh God. I mean, Bill Hicks, man. Like I love Bill Hicks. There's so much shit where he's just like, he's like doing the Anthony Bourdain thing of like, I'm a smoking cool guy. Like so funny. and like I loved Anthony Bourdain, but there was still that thing of like, I want to look like a rebel though. And like Bill Hicks coming on stage in England with flames behind him. Like, oh God. Bill, you're not Kiss. Come on.
Well, I mean, I think about the hating Billy Ray Cyrus, and I'm like, oh man, You should see what's going on now. Miley Cyrus is actually a subversively progressive, one of the more subversively progressive artists we have.
That's what happens when you just fucking just put someone in a fucking barrel and go, let's laugh at this guy. Yeah, do you know my Billy Ray Cyrus story? Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
I don't think so. When I was on Mad TV, I was the only one who kept beers in his trailer because I'm a piece of shit. And so...
And everybody else was on coke.
Yeah. Pills. Anyway, I didn't say that. But I would have, it's like, hey, after taping, come fucking hang out and have a couple beers, and And so I had Erica, Ash, and I had Keegan Michael Key. Like, we're just having beers in the trailer, just listening to music. And then, we get out of the trailer around like 9 p.m., nothing crazy. And then we're walking across the studio lot, and we're laughing about something, walking to our Ubers or our taxis or whatever. And one of us said, assume the position. Just said that, just yelled it about something. Mm-hmm. And Billy Ray Cyrus comes out of a doorway and sees us and hears it. And he's like, hey man, I've been in Hollywood long enough to know that one. And he bends over and he goes, heh. And I just ran over to him and went, Billy Ray Cyrus. And he goes, all right, man. And he walks away. It was the funniest shit ever. It's the only time I've ever run up to a celebrity and yelled their name. It was like being like, Elvis to Elvis.
Hold on, I just got to sell my children into the cabal real quick.
I've been in Hollywood long enough to know that one. Grabbed his ankles.
God.
Hey, we all got to take it up the poop chute sometime, all right?
Whoa, BRC, man.
Didn't give a fuck. Had a real laugh with us.
I've never had an encounter with him. I like the theory that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. Have you never heard that? Have you ever heard that that's Bill Hicks faked his death and is now Alex Jones?
He's super fat.
But if you look and listen to him, and like that's the believable part. And if Bill Hicks just wanted to go like these old punk rock guys that hang on to the idea of punk rock being contrarian, and now that everything's open-minded or like trying to be progressive, right, they have to be contrarian, so they have to go right-wing and go the other way. Yeah,
wherever the mainstream is, they got to go the other way.
Yeah, they got to zag instead of zig with everybody else.
No matter what it is. Yeah,
I like that one. That's one of my. That's like a fun conspiracy theory that I know isn't true, but it's a fun one.
It's just their faces look so similar. They do look so similar. Obviously, different body types. I mean, unless he just did the Captain Lou Albano workout. I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah, no, he's got the creatine bloat. But
you remember that was a. You watched pro wrestling when you were a little kid, right? Like
not a lot of it. No.
Okay, well, there's a thing with Captain Lou Albano, who
the guy from Cyndi Lauper's video.
Correct. Yes, with like the big like a shark tooth or something in his ear.
Yeah, saved all his newspaper rubber bands in his goatee.
Yes, exactly. The shittiest, most hair harmingest rubber band.
He was so angry that Cyndi Lauper wanted to have fun.
You're so mad that girls I mean, you can't fight it. Girls want to have fun. That's all they want to do.
They just want to have fun. That's why we got to get them out of office.
They just want to
go get out of the office and go have fun, girls.
Enough. No.
Kyle Kinane, 2020.
Freeze. So he had a thing where it was like the Captain Lou Albano workout, and it was like fit guys behind him, and one arm was curling, and the other arm had a sandwich. So you'd bite a sandwich. It was like a big hoagie. It's like that's Alex Jones. He's literally doing the Captain Lou Albano, or Bill Hicks was, and then now he's doing.
On my drive today, I just yelled, "Get some!" And I saw, you're safe in your car and you don't think anybody's looking at you. And I like to look at, if like I'm passing somebody, I'm like, see what everybody's doing in their car. And I just saw some girl like hit the merge kind of hard on the highway and like got up there and then just from underneath, not joking, this long of a sandwich, just gank. It's like, get some. It's just, hell yeah, lady. Nobody's judging you right now. You're in your safe place. Eat a big sandwich in your car. It was either that or just a baguette. And even if that's the case, that's beautiful too. Just going hard ass end of a baguette in your car.
Yeah, and it just fuck it with a airbrush the words "hell awaits" on the side of the car.
But starting a baguette by yourself, where you got to get your the remaining fangs you got left of your primordial days to like puncture the crust. Like,
sure. Oh, just so you have to call back all your primal ancestors to pump through that delicious stone bread. Oh, here, right, we got some donors. Yep. Okay, so I forget the name of Jen's cause or charity, but it benefits the helpers, the people that are helping people with COVID to get them more masks and donate. Yeah, they donate. It's donate basically PPE. So thank you. First off, GVC, 2 words, $25. Sarah
Natanich.
$10. Thank you so much, Sarah. Swayze Meteor, $25. Slacker Joe, $25. Thank you.
That ain't so slacking.
Much. I appreciate you guys donating to us bullshitting, and let's get back into a certainly thing. Bill Hicks is Alex Jones, because I'd never heard that, and I'm an idiot. I don't know. I just remembered that woman biting a sandwich like she was trying to start a road flare with her teeth. That's what I was excited about. No, that's even better. Yeah, we've talked about how angels come in all shapes, but like there are those moments where you see someone do something so fucking ridiculous. That for me, it was those 2 kids, that the kid going, "Oh shit, it is a kiddie pool, fuck," like a 50-year-old truck driver,
bummed out at their own existence.
Mm-hmm.
This one's for us.
Yeah, and I will. Had a bit of a hard moment last. And this is a new girl, Jake. Okay. But I've had a bit of a hard moment watching a movie on Netflix called A Secret Love, about 2 women who are together for, God, I want to say it's 55 years.
And they told everybody about it.
Best friends, and then they came out after all that time, and one of them actually played for the All
Houston Astros.
Close, the All-American Women's League. They're like in a league of their own, and like they're like all the footage of those women playing baseball and stuff, and how they like the two of them like just snuck around, and just how one of them had a dad who she'd just get drunk with, like he'd get a bottle of booze and we'd have a little party, the 2 of us, and how she could never tell her mother, but her father just knew and was like, "I'd rather you be with a gal than a man who treat you bad." And I'm like on the couch, like, I think just having a kid, like, not that wouldn't make me cry anyway, because I'm a big sack of sap, but it's like we're only halfway through that movie, but like my wife was like, "We have to go to bed. Turn this off." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I should go to bed. I'm a wreck." So I think that's my new girl, is A Secret Love.
What are you going to do if you just have a plain old straight white baby?
Give it away. I'm not going to have a not cool kid.
This one's not helping. This kid isn't helping.
This kid isn't fringe at all. Fuck. I'll love her, Kyle. Love her very much.
Listen, it doesn't matter that you're not, special.
Well, listen, can you try the Dickies jacket on? Just try it on.
Got this woodworking set.
Come on. Be a welder. Listen, I got Rhea Butcher over. She's going to teach you how to weld. I remember when she told me. Make your own shoes. When Rhea told me we got to have Rhea on here. When Rhea told me she was a welder, 10 years ago, I was like, come on. And she's like, I get it. I know.
I know every time Tegan does something that she's like, I know the jokes are true.
My mom, she has a friend she's worked with for years who's gay, and Erasure was playing. Like, we were on a bar at one point, Erasure was playing. I was like, and I think I said something stupid.
You calling it erasure?
Erasure. Now you call it?
Erasure.
Erasure? I thought it's erasure, like erasing everything. Where did I feel like George W. now calling it, what did he call it?
You listen to these Eurasians?
Nuclear?
You ever listen to that band, the Eurasians?
Nuclear. He called it nuclear. That was his thing. I'm fucking
Eurasians.
sorry.
They kind of just ripped off Babas.
So anyway, Depeche Mode was on, and and I was just like, I was like, fuck yeah, some gay dance music, like joking around. And she went, "Oh, is this our music?" And I'm like, "No, it's not. I'm wrong. I shouldn't have even."
Don't overcorrect, Matt. Don't overcorrect.
This was 25 years ago, so I've grown. Listen, speaking of growing, let's bring on the gal I'm having a torrid affair with, if she's ready. Jake, do we have Jen?
We do.
All right. Well, you've seen her on stage and screen. She's an author of 2 fantastic books, both of which I've read, and they're great. Please welcome our pal, the illustrious Jen Kirkman.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, girl. Oh, there's the applause.
Good to see you again, Kyle. I saw Kyle earlier. There was a sound check that I guess Matt thought he was too good to show up to.
I was too busy getting drowned in a kiddie pool.
Prima donna.
That's me.
I was just going to comment on something you said, but I don't remember what it was.
We said a lot of stupid shit, so
Yeah.
take your pick.
I think it was just. Oh, no, never mind.
Okay.
It wasn't something you guys said. I was reading emails while I was listening. I may have taken an edible 2 hours ago.
You want to start over? It's
Well
a very small amount. It's like CBD and THC. It's like nothing, but I take it so that I don't have a temptation to drink more than one drink. Because I get a little loopy, and then I'm like, I got to put the drink. It's like my diet.
I make the mistake of going the other way where I have several drinks. I'm like, you know what? If we throw a little weed on this right now, it's going to be the best. And it never is. But I keep trying it.
Do you start crossfading? Is that why it's not the best?
Crossfading. I haven't heard that term in a while.
You're right.
You
I
know what
just
it was?
learned it 6 months ago.
Better late than never. Better late than never, Jen. You know what? I've been chasing a moment where I remember driving back from being in Chicago like decades ago, where I don't know if we had gone to see bands, but I got drunk and I just got a little bit high, but not too much, and was in the back seat of a car, and there's music on, and I remember that, like, in that moment going, this might be the best you ever feel.
Sure.
And I've been trying to match that,
Right.
crossfading, as the term is correct. I've been trying to get to that moment for the last 25 years.
I feel like because you said this is the best you'll ever feel, maybe the key is the next time you do anything, say this is the best you'll ever feel.
Oof.
See if that does it. No, that's not going to work.
Some embarrassing moments if I'm going to start labeling things that.
It's the same way with, like, if you look at an old picture of yourself and you're like, oh, I like the way I was dressed then. Is that? And you just realize you're looking at youth. You can't replicate what you're seeing.
No.
So in other words, Kyle, you're fucked.
Not really, because I have not changed my style either since 25 years. So I'm still wearing the same dumb shit. Hair fell out, put it on the face. Whatever.
When you get just came home to the hotel from a wedding level drunk, and you take your clothes off for bed, and you see yourself in the bathroom hotel mirror and go, I look really good. Why do I worry? I have a great body. And that's not your fault.
Hotel lighting's always better, though. Well,
It
or
is,
at least
but
as a guy who does not know how to light himself well in his home,
Okay.
hotel lighting is put in there to make you feel good about yourself.
Yes.
Me at home, like, oh, I can't believe this mag light that I have dangling from some twine isn't flattering my features the most.
from the ceiling like a torture instrument.
Yeah, I look like I'm being chased by the cops. That's the light I have going. I'm swinging back and forth in my bathroom. Oh, this isn't flattering right now. Fluorescence everywhere in the house? No, bad. Just overhead, like a Walmart.
You look great, Jen. I mean, you're well lit. It's a great hat.
Oh, I've got a ring light. I'm spreading the gospel of these things.
I couldn't find mine. I do have one.
You do. There's something about it. Just, I don't know.
I gotta get one of those.
It's glow. You could see the reflection in the eyes, so you see the ring in the pupils. Looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, we've mentioned a lot. Solomon Giorgio was on here, and he looked like a drawing or a painting. Like he looked so gorgeous.
I feel like he just looks like that.
Oh, he's a beautiful man, but with the ring, it was like
he looked like a stained glass window.
Yes.
It was magical.
It was magical. It really was.
Where are you? Are you in LA right now, Jen?
I am. I'm in the Valley.
Still hunkering down here?
I'm still hunkering down. I'm not going anywhere. I mean, just because things are open, I'm not going. It doesn't mean I'm going.
No, you shouldn't.
No, there's no need. I mean, I'm not even doing things that are allowable, like 6 feet apart outside social distancing, because I want to wear a mask while doing that, and my friends don't. So I say, when you're willing to wear a mask for me, I'll come over. But until and so far they're like, it's fine, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I think if anyone has any kind of hesitation, you shouldn't be pushy.
Well, my friends are like, they're probably right. It's outside and they're 6 feet apart. But as much as I seem like the kind of like, oh, it's easy for her to social distance because she's kind of a introvert, like if they might think that, the reason I don't go is because I'm 2 drinks in and I'm hugging you. I'm like, it's fine. Like, I don't trust myself.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's that I'm too social. I just have to shut it down completely. And I can do that. I really don't want to go out 6 feet apart with a mask on. So I don't go.
Fair.
I like listening to my mom. She slowly just tries to talk herself into why it's okay to go to the casinos now that are open. She hasn't gone yet, but she's like,
Deb.
nobody will ask her. It'll just be like, yeah, we did try going to a restaurant the other night. They're opening up the casinos, and I think they're doing it right because it's limited. You can only use, it's every 3rd slot machine, so they're doing that right. You can only use the.
My mom is 82, and so is my dad, and they go to Foxwoods Casino every weekend, for 10 years. And I'm like, it's their whole life. And so they're actually following the rules, social distancing, masks, all that. And my mother is like yelling at people on the sidewalk who don't wear masks. And yet they went to fucking Foxwoods last weekend. And I was like, that's so much worse than being outside. My mom had never met, I hate to out my mom like this, but she voted for Trump and she voted for Obama twice. Like, she's not a right-wing psycho. She just wanted a businessman and really didn't like Hillary. Like, you know what I mean? It was like,
some people gambled and lost.
That's right. So she's not a Trump supporter, and now she's off the train completely and whatever. Right. But she's like, she'd never met other people. She'd never met any of them. And so they were yelling at her. They weren't wearing masks. One guy said to her, why don't you just go home and die? Someone else said, you're believing.
At Foxwoods?
Yes. I go, Mom, were these Trump supporters? She goes, oh, yeah. Now that you say that, they were. One of them had a Trump mask on, but she would only put it on her chin. Anyway, I asked her if she would please put it on her face because I'm elderly. I have 3 pre-existing conditions. And she told me to go home and die. I was like, well, go home with good advice.
Oh, I'm now a Costco member in suburban Portland, Oregon. And so I saw like a mother-daughter team with the Trump mask. Like, that's like, you have to make the statement on the mask. Like, it's not.
Is it a picture of him?
No, it just said Trump 2020.
Oh,
it's like,
God.
It's not a politics thing, but you know what? I'm the one at Costco in the suburbs. So maybe I shouldn't be. Because I'm the one who's bad. I'm bad with a mask. I got this dumb beard, and then I put it on, and then I'm touching it because it's falling down, and I'm doing everything wrong.
I'm sorry. A Trump, like a mask that says Trump 2020 is like a mask that says "Go COVID, kill us."
Right,
like
right.
and it's a mask, which makes no sense.
But it's them saying like, I'm doing it because you want me to, and also I need 2 pounds of Parmesan artichoke dip. But
I mean, I think that's a perfect impression of a Trump voter right there. Just the petulant bullshit and just like, I just want to make you mad. So fuck you.
I want to ask about Costco. Do you get nervous being in there? Because I'm too afraid to go to the grocery store, and I feel like you're surrounded by mouth breathing no maskers.
Well, if they're mouth breathing, I can't tell because of the masks are required.
Trump.
Good.
You can't get into Costco without a mask. They are infinitely patient, and they're super cool. And like, no matter how long the line gets, they'll walk up and down and check on people and stuff. They're like, and they get paid well. They get good benefits. So you're not. Yeah.
Costco's kind of dope. Costco's
blowing
pretty
my
dope.
mind on. I didn't really know this.
That's why I go there. And but like
that box, I got a box of Cabernet Cab Sauv that is just a monolith on the counter, which Rachel told me is too fruity for what it should be, but I don't know.
Yeah,
well, she said that it shouldn't be fruity. Wait, so where
it's too fruity for her taste. We're staying in Beaverton right now. I'm in LA. I just got back to LA a couple hours ago.
Oh, you're in LA. Oh, okay.
I came back for a week. I'm on a supply run down here. And then I'm going back probably like next weekend. Well, we're just kind of staying up there because nobody's got to be. Yeah, nobody's got to do anything.
Yeah, my parents, when the baby comes, are going to drive down an RV and just be like in our driveway, and then come in like basically.
Yeah, parents living in your driveway.
No, they're going to live in the house.
Who's going to live in the RV?
Jen, that wasn't meant for you.
I know, but I forgot I was going to donate my age, $45. So there you go.
That's not true. You're 25 like I am. Okay, so we also have.
You're right. Sorry, I forgot your line.
$50 from Lindsay Wells. $20.
Lindsay Wells from last week. She even bought Lindsay Wells last week. Yeah.
So Jen, why such a strongly politicized charity? Because I feel like a lot of. How did you find this one out of the others and that are like?
Oh, I was like, what? I found it. I honestly just did it. I sell these silly masks in my merchandise store. So every month I give the proceeds to some kind of COVID-19 related charity.
Oh, right.
Against COVID, not to help it. But anyway, so this was just on my list, and I liked this charity because I feel like all the hoopla at the beginning was healthcare workers. And I feel like people might forget that they still don't have everything they need. And now that cases are spiking, hospitals are full again. So this helps them get the proper PPE. And if you donate enough, I hear they get OPP. Thank you.
You know me. That's awesome. They get to fuck other people. And that's.
Yep. And that's what you want to do during a pandemic.
Still a jam, by the way, if you've heard that one in a while. It also was fun because it looked like Kara was actually smoking something in the background. Oh, no, she's eating. Okay.
Hi, Kara.
Hi.
I thought
it looked smoke while pregnant.
It looked like you were smoking something in the background. I'm obsessed with you being pregnant but doing things you shouldn't be. I want you to have e-cigarettes. I want you to vape and have a martini glass filled with a non-alcoholic.
I want her like a 1970s pregnancy, like.
You mean the result? What we're the result of? You mean the reason I should have been taller, but I'm not?
I always tell people, I'm always like, I'll be so fucking drunk this weekend. Don't even worry about it.
Don't call.
Fine.
I guess I had the kid.
Yeah, I think beer belly at this point.
That popsicle smells like cocaine.
Yeah, Jen, you haven't seen it. You want to see it?
Yeah, I haven't seen it since like 2 months ago.
Right.
I swear that's just what my stomach looks like in quarantine.
Right,
that looks like just a perfect little turkey baby. Like I just want to put stuffing up your ass.
See my boss.
Well, this took a turn.
You have a perfect
I didn't
pregnancy.
see that coming at all. I mean,
Weird, man.
Just want to stick stuffing up your ass.
I do love that we have a female guest. They said the most filthily inappropriate thing.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
I meant it in a cooking way.
That's what the pilgrims taught us.
It's still look.
You know you're like outside and like people can hear you, right? I
What?
thought you were
We're talking about stuffing up her ass.
Like, I mean, I don't care,
The
but
light-
I can hear you.
the-
Thankfully, there's bushes.
The lighting was terrible in there.
But your neighbor's Chris D'Elia, so it doesn't matter, right?
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
Can't
Can't get offended.
Drama like that. All right, I'm going to bed. I'm reading my
Oh,
book.
she leaving.
Okay, can you grab me a beer?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Garrett.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the charity.
That's the charity, Chris D'Elia.
There you go. Pre-sneezed masks.
I'm donating. Yes, we're donating to Chris D'Elia's charity because it's a Millionaires with Hollywood Producer Dads
Oh,
fund.
Oh, why
No,
didn't
I'm not being mean. Those are two compliments.
no, absolutely. I mean, I feel like it's been overlooked that, people like Kyle Kinane that are beloved by children and he doesn't prey upon them,
Don't
like,
say. Hey, don't
he-
make claims you can't back up, buddy.
Yeah, now people are gonna go looking, whereas before they wouldn't even think about it, and they'll find
hate it when-
something.
You know what? There's been a couple instances on Twitter where people have been like, "Well, I bet Kyle Kinane's not a creep," and I just want to be like, "You don't know me.
You don't know me.
Don't act
Yeah.
like you know me."
It's funny, I had a bit in my act that I used to do, months ago where I was just like, hey, it's me, Matt Braunger, former creep. And she was like, stop saying that. It's like the connotation in some
Yeah, these days.
times. Well,
I was a whore. I wasn't a creep.
yes.
I had a 4-year block. I was a total whore
Thank you.
and probably a huge jerk, but I wasn't a creep.
Mhm. My whole thing is I was
differences.
annoying and like emotionally shitty sometimes, and definitely a whore too. But like creep is strong. So it's like that umbrella is,
You were kind of going for like a Weezer self-deprecation, and we just don't live in that world anymore.
No.
yeah. Well, and I don't want that.
We're post-deprecation.
I think we've got to be
Post-dep?
careful. Yeah, post-dep.
Post-dep? Oh.
Like you can't use certain words if you're going to self-deprecate because people will be like, "Oh, that means they."
It's so funny. I mean, first off, Kara's way funnier than I am. And I remember once I was just like, we were in a bar and like Run Around Sue was playing. And I was like, oh yeah, it's me. Song about me. I used to be Run Around Sue. And she's like, no, it's more like emotionally manipulative, shitty, awful to women, Sue. Like something like that. And I was like, oh. And she said it fucking with me, but true. But it was like, I wish I could have written it down because it was so just like off the cuff, like something we had like an on again, off again affair, as some people know, you two included.
I knew the whole time.
Yeah, oh,
We
totally.
all did.
Everyone
We all did.
Everyone knew.
Yeah.
Like first.
Kirkman knew first, but Kyle
Chad
fucking
knew
knew.
first.
Right.
You should have. I mean,
Anyway.
I mean, I guessed it first.
Oh,
Does
right.
can I tell everyone a beautiful story? Kyle, do you know this story?
Can
Oh,
I
boy.
get a beer? Well, I'm getting a beer from the fridge. Tell
Yeah.
it. I can hear you. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
Can I tell this story? Yes, it's okay to tell. It's not
Yeah,
in
no, I don't
revealing
care.
anything. When I was at Kara and Matt's wedding, and I had just had a wedding about 10 months prior where I did not feel. during the
Wait. You
ceremony.
were at Karen Matt's wedding or her
Oh,
wedding?
sorry. I was at Kara and her first husband's wedding.
Yeah, I was there too.
And Matt was there. Yeah, this is going to be a story about you. So I'm sitting there next to Matt, and I'm married at the time, but my husband's dad was sick, so he couldn't have come with me. I'm looking at Kara get married, and I go, this reminds me of this wedding, the wedding that when I was at my own wedding, I thought, I don't want to be getting married right now. Oops, too late. Guess I'll just see what happens.
Right.
And so I looked at Kara and I went, she's giving me that same, I wish I could run bride vibe. And I'm sitting next to Matt and I go, I know these fools are in love with each other. How is this going to end? And then Matt and I danced to like some kind of song. And you were like, I always thought this would be my dance with Kara. Isn't that so sad? And now they're together.
I got blackout drunk and
Just yelling at you with a mouthful of chips through the screen.
I know. What? Everyone's like, what did he see in her?
No. Pam Clear found me in a fucking closet at a house that happened after. She's like, get in the car. I'm like,
Oh, I'm sorry I abandoned you. I think I had to leave early to like
good.
deal with my husband.
I was a grown man.
Oh yeah.
It was the
Anyway,
thing where it was literally that emotionally stunted male thing where you're not even admitting to yourself how sad you are. Cheers, everyone.
Well, it all worked out
Ooh.
beautifully. It's
I
really
don't
an
give a shit.
inspiration.
It worked out. It's all comedy. Oh, great. Okay, we have questions for you, Jen.
Uh-oh.
You want to just put those up, Jake?
Marriage.
Rachel on Patreon says, I love drunk history. Please tell me it was as much fun to do / film as it is to watch. She also said this is a question for Kyle as well, just not Matt.
Oh, wow.
Why? No.
I don't remember.
Kyle, what do you think? Yeah, exactly. I don't remember.
I'm
Did you
offended when people say it's fake. I'm like,
I know. So like how good of an, do you know, I had a movie, like one time a big executive, like I don't remember who it was, but called me into his office and he's like, I've never seen such good acting in my life. Like, where have you been? Why do you do comedy? You could be a serious actor. So I go, what is he talking? He thought I was serious in drunk history, like acting drunk. And I was like, no, I was drunk. And then he was like, meeting over. But did you ever do the earlier ones where where Derek doesn't drink with you? So you're literally the only one drinking? I'm sure I think you did.
The one that the first one I did, all I know is I drank a bottle of tequila and
Wow.
don't remember. All I know is I had them tape at my apartment and I woke up the next day, and I'll say this, the oxygen that they give you, not because I was dying, but because they have to have a nurse on every film set.
Yeah.
And they had oxygen. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's do that. Like when you go to Vegas, there's an oxygen bar. Do that. It's great.
Yeah.
Because the hangover I should have had mentally, I shut down. I half mooned my brain.
Yeah.
Like just half of it was dark the next day. But the physical, like I wasn't ill or had headaches, but I woke up in my apartment the next day and it was just slightly cleaner than I keep it. And I had to walk around for like an hour and a half because I did not remember what happened the day before.
Oh, shit.
But there was like some stuff that was moved. And I'm like, I don't use paper towels. There's paper towels here. And I had like an hour and a half of just a micro mystery to solve until I'm like, oh, I threw up in front of TV cameras last night in my own home. So that's how drunk history was. I don't know if that's called fun.
Because you've both done it a couple times. Honestly, I don't think Derek likes me. Like I've always wondered why he never asked me to be on it. But I'm like, and that's, I don't know why, but that's cool. And I could be totally wrong. There's a billion comedians on this earth. But you've both been on it twice. What have you learned? Like, what did you do differently the second time?
Well, no big deal. I've been on it 6 times now. Ugh, awkward.
Maybe it's a body mass issue, Matt. He doesn't want to have to keep up with you. You got too much.
That's true. I think, well, I will, to answer the listener, I don't want to make you sad, but it's not fun. But that's like, if we've done our job correctly, then it's supposed to look fun.
I've heard that from so many people.
Yeah. Editing.
But the reason it's not fun is like, at first it is like, you get there, you get a little buzz on talking with your friend, and then the camera's rolling and you say the same thing over and over, but you forget what you say. And imagine being the only drunk person, like very drunk, like ashamed, like you have to get more drunk than you ever do in real life. And it makes you feel ashamed. Like you need to go to AA that second, and no one else is drinking and they're just all looking at you because that's their job. I start to get like, I think I drinking problem. Well, you're all too good to drink. I get mean.
Yeah.
They make you tell the same story 3 or 4 times. So
and you don't remember.
You tell it with only a couple drinks so they can get the base layer narrative.
Have you guys done getting Doug with high at all? Like smoking weed with Doug Benson?
That one is horrible for me.
I can't get high, really.
I'm not like
you're high right now, Jen.
No, it's like 2 milligrams of CBD with a little THC.
But it was funny.
Not like they do.
I was so happy to do it with Jim Jeffries because he doesn't really smoke weed. I don't really smoke weed, but we both got high. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fuck around and have fun with this. And he turned so dark. He was like, this is terrible. He's like, when you're out, have a beer. Ugh. Like he was so angry. And like, I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna have fun with this. And it was, thankfully it wasn't a thing we have to tell a story again and again and again. So like there's that segment that you guys are talking about is like,
Well, it's because you think you've forgotten what you've said on Drunk History too. So it's like, I gotta tell you about 1801. They're like, we got that. No, you didn't. You know, it's like that. But like the getting high thing is interesting. I'm kind of the same way. Like I know what will happen after a glass of wine, right? But if I smoke or do an edible, I don't know. And then I sometimes just shut down.
I go back into being like a teenager and my mom looking at me and just going, "What were you doing tonight?" And I'm just like, so every time I've done Getting Dug with High, I'm like, well, I don't know how to get a little bit high, so I'm going to get as high as possible and be a disaster on that show. And then I did it, and the guest was Tommy Chong. Oh, legendary Tommy Chong, who was just talking about rubbing oils on his skin to get rid of cancer. And in my head, I'm just screaming, "You're full of shit, Tommy Chong." And outwardly, I'm like, why did I wear a tie-dye shirt to this? I look stupid. Like, because I can never say what I want to on that show. And I remember the one time I just yelled at Doug because he was like, we're all high as shit. And he was trying to get people to vote on measures that would legalize marijuana. But he's sitting there like, okay, your whole audience is high as shit. He's like, all right, now remember, Washington, you need to vote no on issue K. Nebraska, remember to vote 3 on issue blue. And I'm like, nobody's going to know what you're saying. I'm like, you tell me what you just said. You tell me what you just said.
Gone. All right, Jen, do you want to invade someone's home with us?
Sure.
Let's do it. So Jake, let's call our friend here.
All right, we're bringing in Dan from outside of Detroit.
All right.
Ann Arbor.
Hey, Dan.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
Dan.
Hey,
Hey,
girl.
Hey, girl.
How's
Can
it
I
going?
just say first off, Dan, thank God you don't have better lighting.
That hurts.
He's a Viking warlord. Show some respect. You look great, Dan.
No, I look like a gosh damn iPhone filter with a pinhead, but I mean, I'll deal with it on short notice.
No, you look like you should be shrouded in darkness, just casting irons out.
Kyle, I'll pull a line from your bit. I got these shoulders and this beard, circa Kyle 2012. That's about all I got going for me.
Hey, still the same thing over here, buddy.
The fireplace looks really cool.
Thank you. My wife does all the design. I just help pay for it.
That's the
Same
deal.
thing. Houseplants help. You got one. We got one over here.
Kyle, that's not a house plant. That's a painting of a naked woman.
No, these.
Next
these.
to it.
Yeah.
That's her pussy. Why are you so stupid?
Whoa.
You're right. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate Jen coming on and bringing the filth for us fucking snowflakes. You know.
I don't know why I did that. Just thought it was
Dan,
funny.
what can you tell us about yourself?
I'm the average Joe. I'm 38. I got 2 kids and a wife. I love comedy. My wife and I travel around Braunger. We seen you on Valentine's Day in Ann Arbor.
Oh, cute.
I gave you the Wildcat shirt.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing we do. I love comedians because they speak to the philosophy of life and they give it to you raw. Real comedians. I mean, I understand that there's all wakes of life and there's certain stuff I'm into or not, but I directly connect to the sentiment that's going on through the struggles of my life. I've found comedy helps, and that seems to be the sentiment of most comedians, turning their embarrassments into something for someone to laugh about. And we love going to see comedians and just visiting them in different states, traveling around, my wife and myself.
Oh, you travel. Oh man, that
I'm crying right now.
Can we
It was
just
beautiful.
mention how you perfectly nutshelled everything?
That was like a
absolutely beautiful, Dan.
It could have been a 2020 commencement speech for comedians. Like I'm inspired to love what I do again.
I've replayed this 100 times in my head, what I would do if I got on Hey Girl and then missed the email to tell me that I was on Hey Girl. So, I feel like I'm ill prepared, but brushed up on some Jen Kirkman, and I am impressed by your Dublin skills. The use of the C word, and may I say cunt,
Yes.
in Dublin while you were under duress, because that is an understatement, was genius. And did you realize how genius it was beforehand and what would transcribe after?
No, I was drunk and I just bombed worse than I'd ever bombed in my life in Dublin. Like
Can
bad.
I be briefed on the story? I don't know the story.
I don't know.
It's just this is the story from the beginning, that what I was saying.
Okay.
Like I did this comedy festival in Dublin and it's just the biggest meatheads. It's in the middle of the day and I bombed and it was just like bad. It was never going to go well. And then I got really drunk at the party that night and with other comedians, and I was telling the bartender what happened. I go, I fucking think I hate Dublin and everyone here, but I'm like 19 whiskeys in. And he goes, why don't you tweet that? Go tweet your Dublin, you're a bunch of cunts. And I did. And then by next morning, I was on like Dublin's version of TMZ. And then I was getting like death threats at my show the next day.
Wow.
And like the festival had to give me security and like they didn't want to deal with any of this. I was like, the bartender said it would be funny that they would get it. Like, you know, in a, like, oh, you can't like that. But they didn't.
Dublin's a weird one.
You made a good job of it the next day. I mean,
yeah, the next day went well.
You
need that as a comedian. You need that stripe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a boss ass move. That's a Chad Daniels, if you ask me. He takes over a crowd.
That was the festival as it was told me. I wasn't there, but Rory Scovel was just not having an okay set, so he just started doing the worst Irish accent at them. And they got so mad they turned the sound off, and he just said, I don't give a shit, and kept doing it to the point that they came back around and loved him for it because he was being such an asshole to him.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. It's the old Simpson bit. Do it. It's funny. Do it over and over. People hate you. Do it over and over and over. They'll come back.
Yeah.
Keep going. Ignore your instincts.
Yeah.
Tyler, you're the best at crowd work. Are you kidding me? I seen you in a gymnasium at an open mic take over on some hecklers. You're my idol, brother.
Me?
Oh.
Yes, absolutely. You quit.
When did I don't know when I played a gymnasium.
It looked like a gymnasium. It looked like an open mic. I found it. Look.
Was it a YouTube video?
It was a YouTube video.
Can I tell you I'll tell you the story about that YouTube video. Can I call you Dan Arbor because you're in Ann Arbor and your name's Dan?
Ann Arbor, that's great.
And that was I think I had just gotten out of at that point what was the longest relationship of a couple years. Flew back to Chicago to go to this show. It was an open mic that was at what is now the Laugh Factory, was the Lakeshore Theater in Chicago.
Yeah.
And it was like a midnight open mic that James Fritz was hosting. I already was like, kind of was like at the end of my rope with, a relationship ending and feeling miserable, which is sometimes like, that's what you need to do is comedy. Cause it's like, oh, I'm going to remind myself of like, give me more pain. Like, let me make it worse.
You do some of the best flips as a trapeze artist with no net. You're just like, fuck it.
You can't make me sadder.
Yeah.
You can't do that to me. So I'm going to do it. And I thought that there was maybe going to be some violence at that show, but there wasn't, because there was some disruptors there. But I was like, listen, if you come to beat me up, it'll only distract me from the other pain that I'm feeling. So even that'll be a welcome detour from the path I'm going down right now.
Right there, man. That's my heart. Like I know only guys that look like you come up to you after shows and say, "Bro, I understand," but I'm understanding.
I couldn't do it without you, Dan.
It is wild how much all of us have people that look like us to go see us. Like I feel like Jen, you have people that look like you that come see you, but also like a lot of guys too. But but
it's like the guys with nail polish, or like people wear like a fun crazy coat or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have guys who look like me but they're gay, and like which is awesome. And then Kyle has Kyle, like so much of his crowd is like that time that Eminem came out to the MTV Awards and there were like 1,000 M&Ms behind him. Like, I feel like Kyle could just be like a Roman emperor and be like, "Go kill," and they would just do it. Like they just
Kyle following his stand.
Kyle's of different shapes would go kick in windows and then go get tired.
Instead of kill, I just say graphic design, and they go to that.
Graphic design the streets, I guess, or something. Yeah.
Braunger, man, I got a funny story about you a little bit. You know, I mean, like Paul was rolling through the feed, and I ended up hearing your voice and just fell in love with your comedy and just researched it. And that's how we ended up going to the show in Ann Arbor. I was so happy you were coming through. I can't wait to see Kyle live. And now Jen, I mean, definitely go see her. I mean, we've been to St. Louis. We're going to St. Louis on the 21st to see Chad, his first show back. But we've been to Philadelphia to see Tom Segura, Cleveland to see Chad, Andrew Rudick, which is an up-and-coming guy, great guy.
Okay.
But when we seen you, it was like the peak of the mountain. Like my wife had I had played your bits for my wife, and she had gotten used to him. She's like, I like him. And then I surprised her for Valentine's Day that we're going. And I mean, it was good. It was really good.
That's so nice, man.
Dan, you know we'll come there.
Yeah, no.
That's what we do for a living is travel. Save your money, man. I always feel bad when someone's like, we drove all the way here. I'm like, why? Give it 6 months. I'll get to you.
Yeah, we'll get there, man. Like everyone you see on this screen, we're on the road all the fucking time, you know.
I know that, but it's good.
It's fun for them
in different places.
True.
It's time for my wife and I to get away, to connect on a whole nother level, get away from stuff, and then just get into comedy and laugh.
How old are the kids, Dan?
You're not going to believe this when I tell you. I'm glad you asked.
43 and 7.
21 and 16.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Good job.
Both at home?
I'm 30.
Oh, okay. You rascal.
Do the math. I was in high school.
Oh, not bad.
Wait, what did you say? 30
Not
what?
too young.
38, and I'm still with my wife 22 years.
Okay. 38.
I was thinking your kids were 30 for some reason because I'm a little had a drink. And I'm like, I don't get it. This guy had kids at 8.
Do you guys also have that theory that God is a comedian and will mute certain parts of a phone call or like a Zoom call, like this? Because I know you said your name before, your age before, and I forgot it, but I thought you said I'm 30.
Me too.
Did you hear 30?
Yeah.
I was like,
but I knew he was 38 as well, but I forgot.
21. What? Okay, yes, that makes sense.
You'd think the absence of sunshine in Michigan would do better for the looks, but actually it's the darkness.
Not me.
Good Lord, you were 9?
Catastrophic aged.
They all turned into Netflix Vikings.
Let me go through some donors. The Bubba Master, $5, great name. Snip Ticker, 25, thank you. Dustin Charles, 25. Anxious Pangolin, $5, thank you. Oh, Drinkable Jeff, great name, $25. Annie Harrington, $10. Thank you so much for donating. Just want to call people out real quick. Thanks for the interruption.
Yeah, man.
What are we donating to tonight? I couldn't watch you live, but I'm going to catch you after, and I'll make sure I donate.
What do you mean watch it live? You're on it live.
I understand. I wasn't able.
I'm
watched it earlier.
Dan's got it sorted. He's all right.
He's a time lord.
I'm only on Patreon.
Jen, when do you give him the name again?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to find it. It's basically an organization where you donate money so that healthcare workers can get proper PPE because they still don't have enough in certain areas.
People can donate at donatepppe.org.
Donatepppe.org. Yeah, so you can do it anytime. You don't have to do it on the show. That's for anyone watching the show. It's a free show. If you want to donate, do it now or do it later. It's cool.
I love what you guys are doing, man. I really like when as soon as I heard about it. In fact, I heard about it through Pandora, and as soon as I heard about it, I didn't have a Patreon. I signed up for Patreon. I became a Patreon because of you and Kyle.
Dude, thank you so much,
man.
Man.
Thanks, man. And thank you for traveling to see comedy. I'd always,
It's fun.
it always like, it's like more, I'm like, oh, people really, because sometimes you forget, you go do a show and you're like, you're going to work, you know, like, okay, the show's going to be fun. And someone's like, yeah, we drove from 2 states away to come see the show. You're like, oh yeah, what? There's no phoning it in. You got to like do a good job every night. There's no half-assing.
And it doesn't make it any less fantastic that, Dan, you can just shove your broadsword in the ground and turn it east, and it'll just teleport you through Viking spells to exactly where we are. You know, it's still fantastic that you're using that, you and your Viking family can just fly. You know,
Thor gave me the power of the beard and the sword, so I understand.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of Patreon, we had one more Patreon question.
Okay.
Billy from Perth asks, what natural disaster scares you the most?
Oh, let's go round robin on this. Let's go our guest first, Kyle, me, and then let's end with Dan, and then that'll be our end to the show. So we'll all answer.
How do we end? Jen, I thought you meant Dan was our guest first. Never mind.
They're both our guests. Let's
love
Jen first.
I love that.
Earthquake that turns into a tsunami.
Oh, double whammy.
Yeah.
Good answer. That's how a tsunami starts, is from an earthquake.
Right? I'm saying.
Yeah, you stole 2 good ones.
I know that was an excuse. Stealing. But you could have the same opinion. We're all in a place that it could happen.
Good times.
Well, no, go deep, but go deeper. Why, like earthquake that causes tsunami, or earthquake that you've got to deal with all your stuff falling off your shelves, and then like, don't worry about it, we're getting a tsunami.
Yes, exactly that one.
Some of it's like, well, don't worry about picking stuff up off the floor. The wave will take care of it.
But you don't know until it's too late. Like, there's a false sense of hope for 1 second. And then you find out a tsunami. And you're like, I don't even think I'm that close to the ocean. And then, boom.
Jen, have you lived here long enough to have an earthquake where, like, you know, there's that like little bit of an earthquake, Dan, you might not be familiar, but the earthquake starts and it just kind of feels like large, like if you've ever had large construction equipment go past your house, it's kind of like a little swaying, but then it just goes, it's like that 1 second too long where you're like, oh no.
Yes.
Yeah.
My first one like that was last July where I timed it. It was 48 seconds.
Those are the ones where, you're like, oh, I live here. Isn't this a cute kind of a, oh no. Oh, geez.
They're usually like 5 seconds. That one last summer was really big because there was like a 7.8 kind of close by, like in the Mojave Desert, but it kept building. It was like until my place was shaking like that.
Yes. Okay. Oh, good answer. All right. Matt, what you got?
Well, you're next, Kyle. We're going.
Oh, I'm next?
Yes.
We're going clockwise.
Yes, sir. Thank you for paying attention, Dan. Appreciate that.
Well, it's different on everybody's computer. We're going diagonal if I'm next.
I was guessing.
All right. You know what? I think having lived through some floods suck. My house growing up was on just enough of a hill where the flood water like made it to our front yard. Our basement would flood, but basically I go back to my parents live in the same house, and looking out where it used to be homes is now just leveled and is basically a park, which is just a floodplain. But it's not like disaster. There was some old school comic who was just like, how do you die in a flood? You're just sitting there with your feet getting wet going, getting higher. Like you're an idiot if you die in a flood. But it is just so devastating because it's not instant. You're just kind of watching your stuff. Like, maybe it'll be all right. Let's just move it. Yeah, let's just move it higher up on the shelf. Let's get it in the attic, and then your whole house. So I think that's like a more like emotionally devastating in a way, like psychologically, because you're it's raining a lot. All those storm drains are backing up, and then the next thing you know, your neighbors with the kayak are in your driveway, like, you want donuts? And that's what
Sean Penn's going by. He's like, I'm here to help.
Yeah. So that's I'm gonna throw flood out there.
My age. You're like, yeah, you work out, Sean. I think I'm with Jen, like earthquake. My first was when I was like, I think I was 2 or 3, first marriage. And my parents lived in Santa Barbara, and I was taking a nap like you do. I don't have any memories of taking a nap as like a toddler, but I remember I flew out of my bed or crib or something and landed on the ground. And my mom ran in my room and just picked me up like a football player and ran me down the stairs and ran me outside. And it was just, everything was shaking.
Oh.
She put me in the grass. And everyone else in every house was on their grass. And I was in my tighty whities, my underwear. And I remember having that feeling of, I don't like being outside in my underwear. This feels wrong. And then like my first feeling was embarrassment. But it's that feeling of helplessness when I felt an earthquake in LA where I'm like, fuck, is this it? And if it, like, what do you do? Like, we're completely powerless. It's very H.P. Lovecraft. It's like, well, the ancient gods are coming out through the ground finally because we have not appeased them. To, like a tentacle is going to come out of the ground and kill us or something. It's primal. It's horrifying. What's yours, Dan?
You see, you guys have dealt with earthquakes. I don't know anything about earthquakes, obviously, here in Michigan. But being from Perth, I'd find it ironic if I didn't bring up the fact of I would hate for a volcano to erupt and wipe out a whole town or country.
That's another one. Oh, yeah. The lava coming, just unstoppable.
Can we predict volcanoes pretty accurately now?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
One just blew recently that they didn't expect, but I forget where it was.
There's an app, but it's like $1,000.
Really?
Oh, so we're priced out of safety. We're priced out of safety.
I was like, that's fucked up, elitist.
It's right near me. No, I don't think
Martin Shkreli now does apps for natural disasters.
But I feel like you're right. You never hear, like, you hear the big ones coming with the earthquake, but volcanoes, they're either like dormant or not, but no one ever goes like, oh, just keep an eye on that one, 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, now we know that you need white privilege in order to know about volcanoes.
I think
dollars per.
I always thought volcanoes were kind of like you go take the temperature like you're cooking a turkey. Like you go in the top, you can look over like that's bubbling.
That's your insomnia talking.
You can get well, see, but volcanoes is that's an easily monitored. It's an easily monitored item.
I had to.
That was perfect. I knew what you were talking.
I know my bits.
I can't wait to see you live.
Well, look, on that note, let's get to it, man. Let's all fucking pray for a vaccine and get back on the road. Dan, thanks for joining us. This is fantastic. Jen.
Dan, thank you, buddy.
Here's a couple more. Kevin Shiramizu, $15. Amanda,
my buddy Kevin, least worst. Hell yeah, Kevin. Thanks, man.
Amanda Matthews Ramsey, $20. All right, we're at a total of $295. If you guys can give more, that would be fantastic. We're about to sign off, but that is fantastic. That's a lot of masks. So thank you guys so much for giving. I really appreciate it. Jen, anything else to add? Anything to plug before we go?
Oh, I have a podcast people can listen to. It's free. And when they listen to it, they'll hear me talk about the Patreon portion. They don't need to hear that now. It's called Having Funlessness with Jen Kirkman. I just talk for an hour a week about what's going on in my head and in the world, I guess.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I love you to death, and I'm so glad you jumped on with us.
Oh, this is a thrill. I haven't seen you boys in a long time. I miss you.
It's been a while.
See you guys when we can.
That's what's
Thank
up.
you for doing it, Jen.
Yeah,
of
thanks.
course. Rock out. Bye, Kara. I'll talk to you soon.
I didn't say nothing.